I'm not going to my best friend's wedding because she replaced me as her maid of honor. I've known my best friend, let's call her Kayla, since we were kids. Our moms were long-term friends, so when they were having daughters at the same time, they basically forced us to be friends, which worked out because we love each other. We went to the same schools growing up. Then we went to college together. We joined the same sorority. We lived together all 4 years. I mean, this girl is like my other half. We've also never been in a real fight in our entire friendship. We've bickered before because we were tired about dumb stuff, but it's always been over the next day. I will say Kayla's fatal flaw is that she loves what's new and shiny. For example, when she started dating her now fiance in college, it was like her friends didn't exist anymore. We just stopped seeing her, and it's because she was so excited about her new relationship that all of her old friends, we were old news. She actually lost a lot of friends because of this, but I loved her so much, I stuck it out, and I just kept inviting her to hang out all the time and just appreciated the time she did say yes. She also has a habit of becoming best friends with somebody that she just meets, thinks they're like the best person in the world, is obsessed with them, plans trips with them, says that they're gonna be best friends for life, and then a month later, they just don't even talk anymore. And when I'm like, oh, what happened to so-and-so? She's like, oh yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked to her in a while. And then they never talk again. Like, it's not even like they have a falling out. She just becomes bored. When Kayla got engaged last year, excited was an understatement. We have been picturing our dream wedding since we were kids, and I was so excited to help her plan. But another thing about Kayla, her vision is a lot bigger than her budget. Kayla asked me to be her maid of honor, and as soon as I said yes, she started showing me the ideas she had for her wedding, and I had no idea what I got myself into by saying that I would help her with the decorations. I offered to help. I'm super crafty, and I knew that I could do a lot of those things for a lot less cost. And I even pitched in some of my own money for decorations that I was making because I love her and I wanted her wedding to be exactly how she dreamed it to be. So yeah, I have put in countless sleepless nights and over $1,000 buying and making decorations for her wedding. From posters to balloon art, literally everything. Here's where the problem starts. About 2 months ago, me and Kayla go to our friend's house party, and there we meet a new girl named Megan. Now, Megan was super cool, super nice, but for some reason, Kayla was obsessed with her. The whole way home, she was just talking about how amazing this girl was, how she's so smart, how she's so successful, how she wants to be just like her, all of these things, which I was like, oh, here we go. It's going to be a new month-long best friend. And I was right. Immediately, Kayla and Megan were hanging out all the time and never inviting me. I'm kind of like the person that's like the more the merrier. I want my friends to all be friends with each other. So it was really weird to me when I would ask Kayla if she wanted to hang out on Thursday, and she was like, I'm already doing something with Megan. And I was like, oh, can I come? And she was like, no, it's kind of more of like a one-on-one thing. And slowly but surely, Kayla was taking longer and longer to respond to my texts. She wasn't answering my calls. She was always too busy, which, girl, you're not that busy. At first, I chalked it up to the wedding and that she was busy with that. But then I realized I was doing way more for her wedding than she was. And I still had time to hang out with her. And I realized she had all the time in the world to be hanging out with Megan. They were hanging out all the time because she was always posting it on her social media. Last week, I finally sat down with Kayla after literally not seeing her for almost a month, even though I was trying all the time. And this is because her wedding was literally a month away and we need to go over some final logistics. But during this conversation, she's looking really nervous. And finally, I'm like, girl, what is up with you? And she's like, I have to tell you something, but I don't want you to get upset, okay? And I was like, okay, what? And she goes, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I decided that I want Megan to be my maid of honor. And I was really taken aback, but at first I thought she meant joint maid of honors, and I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever you want. And she was like, oh, great, so you're okay just being a bridesmaid? I was like, wait, you're not talking about, you want me out, kicked out, just bumped to the back of the line. And she was like, I love you so much, but at this time in my life, I just feel like Megan is my best friend in the world. And I was like, your best friend in the world? She was like, yeah, I've hardly even seen you the last few months. I'm like, oh, really? Really? You know what? Because I asked you to hang out, but you're always busy with Megan. And I guess maybe I've just been busy doing all of the decorations for your wedding. And she was like, yeah, and I so appreciate that and I love you. And that's why I'm so excited that you're going to be my wedding party. I was speechless. I was sitting there just like dumbfounded. And this girl has done this to me my whole life. She's always finding a new friend, replacing me for a few months, and then when she gets bored of that friend, comes back to old reliable. But I need to know my worth. I always say it with men, but I guess I've never said it with friends, and especially when it comes to Kayla. And I know this was petty, but I look her right in the eye and I say, honestly, I don't really want to go to a wedding that's going to have no decorations. And her face falls because she knows that at my apartment, that's where all of her decorations for her wedding are. Like, I made 75-80% of the decorations for her wedding. So without the stuff that I spent money on and put hours and hours into, she's just like not really gonna have any decorations at all. She was like, oh my gosh, Kelsey, you would never do that to me. And I was like, well, I never thought that you would do this to me, but guess we're both mistaken today. Her entire family has been calling me non-stop about the decorations, not about what she did to me. No, they just really want these decorations. And I said, you can have them. You just have to pay for the cost that I spent on them, plus the time that I put into them. I told them that now Megan's her maid of honor, so if she wants help with the decorations, that is not my responsibility anymore. Now the wedding is quickly approaching, and I am not budging. I'm not answering any of Kayla's calls or texts, mostly because they're all about the decorations. Like, she does not even care how much she hurt me. I love Kayla, but I'm not going to be her doormat anymore. I don't know, maybe the holding the decorations hostage is a little much. Maybe I should just give them to her and let that be that, but I don't know. I spent so much time and money on those, and she just threw me to the side like I was nothing. So it just doesn't feel right.
Something very similar happened to me and my best friend of my whole childhood. We lived in an apartment building and our flats were in front of each other. That's how close we were. We went together through elementary, through middle school, through high school, the university. We were we had the same circle of friends until she met some other friends. And when it was time for her to get married, somehow I ended up at the back of the line. So what to advise to this girl, I have no idea. I mean, it depends how close they are really of a friend. And I think it's very fair for her to charge for the decorations, for her time, the money that she spent. It's all very fair. But what do you guys think? What would you do? Leave me your comments below, and thank you so much for watching.